Hel- Hello, welcome to this update for Asia. Let's see what's happening with Typhoon Ragasa south of Hong Kong. So right now it's very close to Hong Kong. It's just south, and if you see it on satellite, the rain bands are practically affecting Hong Kong and the nearby towns with very heavy rain and gusty winds. Especially in areas further south, there's the outer rain band and a heavier section near Hong Kong. The eye is over the ocean. In the eye wall, the heaviest part is offshore, but this is dangerously close to Hong Kong. So last few days, it was a super typhoon near the Philippines. It did produce some life-threatening wind gusts and storm surge in the islands of the Philippines. It passed right over the Bhutan Islands like Calayan and those areas. It passed right over there as a Category 5. So this is the strongest tropical cyclone so far in 2025 worldwide. So I really hope you are safe. Please take care of your loved ones and please continue to be careful. The water might still be dirty. Many people are without power, so still stay safe, be careful if you are there. And now it's very close to Hong Kong, so the current threats for the sea are heavy rain, gusty winds, and also swells and rip currents, especially like because this thing is so close, the winds might be very strong near the coast and some rough seas. This might be causing some minor storm surge near the coast because of the proximity. I don't say like too much because it's not going to make landfall directly in Hong Kong, so that there won't be that much storm surge, but there might be some very large waves and some coastal flooding in a few areas, so be careful. Some coastal flooding in a few areas and also just heavy rain and flooding from heavy rain and flash flooding. So please be careful. Shows some gusts right now in Hong Kong from the European model as high as 92 to 100 km per gust in a few spots. Some islands offshore to 124, and this varies a lot because this is just a weather model. It can make mistakes. The winds on the eye wall in the strongest part of the cyclone are up to 215 km per gusts in the strongest part of the cyclone, even 231, 210, between 200 and 230 km per gusts. So it's a very dangerous system. And this is the icon. It has even like 212 in the middle of the season and more than 100, 108 to 120 km per gust in Hong Kong. So those are very damaging winds in such a populated city. Please be careful. And the icon takes it very close. It even has like in a few hours to 137 km per gust in Hong Kong. That might be extremely dangerous. Imagine those islands here, like these little islands to 206 km per gust. If you are in these areas, this is literally right over you or in your doorstep. So you should be taking maximum precaution. But if you are right now, for example, around this other cities further south, like Haiyan, Shadi, here you should have your preparations complete, and if not, rush to completion because the outer wind field of the storm is already touching you. And throughout the next few hours, like into Wednesday, the 24th, this might pass right over you. The icon has some wind gusts in the middle of the day. Wednesday, close to like 179 to 200 km per gust in a few of these cities. So please be careful, like 180. So please stay safe. The internet is not cooperating, but as it gets towards land, it will weaken some. but still like close to 200 km per gust in a few spots of the coast, especially these approaches like spots to 200, 196. The European is similar, like 191, and it's actually stronger. The European passes over the island near Chadi with 220 km per gust. This will be life-threatening, even if it's just 150, still extremely dangerous. So please be careful. And this part of the coast, like from the southern tip of Hong Kong, all the way to like the Rudong, these hot areas, expect some major storm surge, especially along Saji and Haiyan, those areas. Some major track stream storm surge in a few areas, especially some coastal flooding and beach erosion. So please stay safe, and some flash flooding and heavy rainfall. So please warn others. This is an extremely dangerous situation, and then it will move further south and west near the southern tip of China with 115 km per gust, 126, and like this is Friday, this is Wednesday night into Thursday. Still some very damaging gusts around southern China. The icon is weakening it faster than the European, but still be an extremely dangerous storm. So please stay safe, warn others, especially because this is extremely dangerous. So only the next 12 hours. So here this the European model, 12 hours, close to 97 millimeters in Hong Kong the next 12 hours. So that can cause some extremely dangerous flash flooding in a short amount of time. So please stay safe. But not only there, the worst to be further south, like Guanhai, 137 millimeters, some islands to 140. So please stay safe. Next 5 days, it rises to 189 in Hong Kong and like 248 spots further south. Some towns like Chadi, Haiyan to 270, 256 millimeters. Extremely dangerous rainfall totals. Please stay safe as the storm moves through. It might cause some major to like life-threatening flash flooding. So stay away from floods, don't drive or walk near floods, and keep yourself safe. Please be careful. And like shows further south as well towards Hainan and spots northern Vietnam, because the remnants of this will go further west into Southeast Asia. So show some 200 meters in Vietnam next 5 days, spots southernmost China, still in Vietnam, central Vietnam into Laos, just some tropical downpours. So please be careful around central Vietnam, spots northern Laos. So stay safe, but especially in southern China, the most concerning area. And the icon is close to 300, even 270, but especially in those islands there. The GFS is 180. Don't look at the GFS too much. So be careful in those areas. And if that wasn't enough, there's something else you should expect. Not you in China in particular, but like the folks down in the Philippines. So shows here, there's this next tropical depression that formed north of Palau. It's expected to be a severe tropical storm across the central Philippines, dangerously close to Metro Manila, like just south, southern Luzon. So please be aware, because you just had a sudden typhoon there, and you're about to have another tropical storm, perhaps weak typhoon. So please monitor this. And it's like expected to reach you by like Thursday, Friday, especially throughout Friday, like September 26th should be the worst impacts. But this will just be like a low-end typhoon, so nothing like the other one, but still it will cause flooding and damaging winds. So just monitor it, because it will be dangerous. And you just had one typhoon, so this is a second one, making it even more dangerous. So please warn others. And long term, the shore might strengthen near the South China Sea towards Vietnam. This might end up being a problem down the road for Vietnam if this happens, but we'll keep watching. For now, it's just a tropical depression. expected to hit the Philippines by Friday, late Thursday to Friday. So please warn others there and stay safe. All the central areas here, some damaging winds, flash flooding. So please be careful. Shows I put this until Sunday, so the Europeans show like spots to 171 meters in Manila to some 87, close to 90, and some other areas more than 100. So it will cross right through this area. If it shifts slightly further north, it might be worse for Manila. So please warn others, shows other parts central southern Philippines. So please be careful. There's the GFS, and the GFS actually has more this time, shows to 276 meters a few spots in those central islands. It has just 65 in Manila. I don't think that's very realistic. But there's the icon too. I don't think that's realistic either because it just has like 28 meters. But yeah, better stick to the European here. So be aware in those areas, and then down the road, it might affect northern Vietnam, even southern China. But you should monitor this in the South China Sea, especially for Hong Sa and other islands as well. So please stay safe. It's expected to be a low-end typhoon or like strong tropical storm. So the European model shows this gets together slightly more, and then it will have some damaging winds in the Philippines as well. It might not be so strong while crossing the islands because of land interaction, but still strong, so shows some scared damaging winds. Might be some like very minor storm surge in a few areas, but especially be careful with flooding because since this won't be a super typhoon, the main threat is flooding, but you should be concerned the winds as well. So please be careful, but this is not the best model to show it because I'm sure there's some high resolution models out there that show the wind gusts more precisely. But just know that the precise gusts will probably be stronger than what is being shown here. But be careful in those areas, especially for flooding and everything. So warn others and stay safe. And if you hop here to more spots in Southeast Asia, still shows some heavy rain spots in eastern India and spots near Myanmar and those areas. So those areas still watch for some monsoon storms. And there's still Typhoon Neokuri in the central North Pacific. This will just go north into the Pacific there. It won't cause harm, but it's still spinning out there, so still a relatively strong typhoon. So let's see, be aware. But now some more important stuff. So here's the official track of Typhoon Ragasa passing south of Hong Kong to make landfall southern China around those areas way south of Hong Kong, southern China. So those areas that I showed you there, the winds and everything, please be careful. Some major storm surge and damaging winds and flooding throughout southern China. And the remnants might go near Vietnam. The models have a similar thing right in that general area. So please stay safe in those areas. Just checking for like future stuff here. Shows here's the GFS, shows two powerful typhoons. There's Ragasa and Negori. And then this goes, the next one forms and hits the central Philippines. So this might strengthen more or less, depends on how much time before it reaches the Philippines, because it weakens some because of land interaction. But the GFS strengthens it again in the South China Sea, potential strong typhoon into Vietnam. So bear monitor that closely as well, and like especially in the Philippines and Vietnam. So there's the European kind of more realistic, has like a low-end tropical storm in the Philippines, like very weak because of land interaction, and strengthens in the South China Sea slightly more. And the European is closer to China than Vietnam, and that would be a problem because China's already having one now. So here's the Canadian formed the tropical storm, slightly weaker than the GFS, but goes in the same area in the Philippines and slightly stronger, possibly in the South China Sea. So there's like the icon as well, shows a similar thing. It strengthens it a little bit, but like still a very weak storm. The Philippines might strengthen some more in the South China Sea, but we'll see what happens because it depends on how much time before it gets to the Philippines and everything, if you have time to strengthen or not. And after that, just pointing out, the icon has another storm in the open Pacific on October 1st. So here there's I don't think the hurricane models have this depression yet, but it might appear soon, one of these days. But we'll keep watching closely. So stay safe in those areas. Please be careful with these storms. Hopping over to like more rain shows the European model in Myanmar next 5 days on 241 millimeters, 230 spots to 166 southern Myanmar. So please stay safe. Central Myanmar, spots Bangladesh, into Nepal and Bhutan. Across Thailand as well, some tropical downpours as usual. Cambodia, be careful. And especially across central western India, the European showing like 200 millimeters in Mumbai, close to 300 actually, and central India. Just to compare, the icon has around 182 in Mumbai and around 500 remotely in some spots further south. The GFS has just 134 in Mumbai and more spots central India. But whatever happens, there will be some very heavy rain central to western India. So if you are in Mumbai next 5 days, just be possibly on alert in those areas as well because 200 millimeters or more might cause a lot of flooding in central India, those downpours. Please be careful. If you are in New Delhi or in the north, just chill, nothing too crazy, but still some downpours in Bangladesh, eastern India, and spots in the southwestern India too in Sri Lanka. So be aware and shows like across Indonesia, there's still some tropical showers as usual because of the location, the equator, but doesn't show too much. Shows in Western Guinea, Papua New Guinea heavier, especially like some 200 meters Western Guinea, a few spots. So be careful, but just be careful as usual, those thunderstorms and showers with thunder and everything. So stay safe. And yeah, the rest of Asia still shows in Yemen a few showers in the mountains because of the remnant moisture for the monsoon and the local mountains as well, causing some moisture and storms. In the Caucasus, a similar thing, still be careful, some snow and some storms. And the rest of Northern Asia is basically snow across Russia and some rain with those fronts as well, mixed rain and snow. So be aware, but there's still some stronger fronts in China, some heavy rain, potential flooding, central to eastern China, and South Korea. So still be careful. It does show here like this is some snow in the Himalayas, in those areas across Nepal. So be careful, especially central China and the Tian Shan Mountains, northern China, into Tajikistan, northern Pakistan, the Himalayas, but especially Russia. Russia shows a lot in Siberia to 60 centimeters, a few spots central northern Russia, there into far eastern Russia. So be careful. And a few spots on this kind of west, but not really. The west is quieter, but shows some snow in the Caucasus already to some 37 centimeters spots in Turkey, and yeah, northern Iran as well, a little bit in the mountains. So be aware, but this still changes a lot. The GFS is like a little bit less. The Himalayas has a lot across central Russia. So be careful, but the main focus in terms of snow is of course Siberia. So be aware, and still like temperature is the same thing. Alright, if very cold in those areas, some -18 degrees, -10 shows like a few spots, northern Russia -20 almost, so stay safe. And shows more in Siberia. It's starting to creep down into southern Russia and Mongolia in the mountains, some negative temperatures. So be careful. This is still like a small taste of winter, but it's nothing compared to what's to come. So you still might be happy. So be aware. And this changes every day, but the general trend is like northern to eastern Russia, already much colder, especially later this week, -21, central northern Russia possibly. So Friday, Saturday shows this might spread more, a big chunk of Russia during the night. So be careful in the mountains in Tajikistan, Himalayas as well. And like Saturday, Sunday still shows that cold creeping further west into Russia. So be careful already there, especially because it's still September and some areas might have their first frost of the season. So be aware of that. And shows in the Caucasus already some active temperatures, the very high elevations there in Central Western Asia. So be aware. And low temperatures is one thing, but there are still some high temperatures in Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates. So it's still hot, but nothing like it was in the summer, but still hot in some areas. So still be careful. Southern India, Santor is still southern Iran, so still be careful in those areas, but like nothing like before. Northern India, the mid is as well into northeastern India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan, so still moderately hot in those areas. And if you can notice this line here in Kazakhstan, so there's some below average temperatures into Western Russia, probably because of a cold front going to Kazakhstan as well. So be aware. So here the map shows like there's that low pressure northwestern Russia and the Arctic with some snow and even freezing rain central Russia. So be careful. This is Wednesday to Thursday, a little bit of freezing rain in a few areas there. So this goal shows a few showers northern Kazakhstan Friday and then Saturday, but especially these low riders across Russia, snow, freezing rain. You should be careful. And yeah, and later still monitoring around Eastern Europe and the Black Sea by the end of this month. But be aware. And here shows like there's Typhoon Ragasa, but there's this very interesting convective line that goes all the way to northern China because I think there's a trough next to tropical cyclone. This is like a cold front to South Korea, China. So still some heavy rain of that. Maybe some in Japan as well. So stay safe, be aware those areas and typhoon. Negu is probably going out to sea. There were rumors about this here in Japan, but most likely going out to sea. But still keep monitoring and keep monitoring this front, potentially the 28th in Japan, but still far out. So we'll keep watching, but be aware in those areas, especially the typhoon and everything else. And sometimes those low pressure systems with strong winds across Russia, especially those those cold fronts like snow and freezing rain with some strong winds. So be careful and stay safe.